Sona Comstar is on our list today. The company is also in focus because it has inaugurated a new state-of-the-art research and innovation center in Chennai. Now, this facility is dedicated solely to electric vehicles with an aim to foster development of advanced products for next-gen electric vehicles. So that really is the space to be in. Sanjay Kapur joins in to give us the latest on that. Sanjay, hi, good morning. Hope you're safe and healthy. These are tough times once again. But before I ask you about the new facility in Chennai, I wanted to know, when we spoke the last time in November, you had said that there is no drastic change in the chip shortage issue and it's still a wait-and-watch situation. Has there been any improvement since then, or has it gotten worse because of the rising COVID cases? Can you throw some light on that?
Morning. That's the situation remains the same. As I said in November, we don't have a clear view in terms of any recovery from the chip shortage situation. The fact is that the number of chips required in a vehicle are increasing every day, and the number of chips required in other electronics or other gadgets are also increasing. So the demand for chips is going to go through the roof. Currently, we buy 7 to 10% as an automotive industry as a whole of the chip supply. That's what we consume. And it's slated to go up to almost 20%. So you can see the number of chips that we require in the automotive industry is going to increase. So we're definitely looking at a difficult situation, for the foreseeable future, at least for the short term. Let's hope we can find some resolution going forward.
Okay. Sanjay, hi, good morning. So is that the only problem that the industry faces, or are there new challenges emerging because of the Omicron variant and because of, what's happening globally in terms of inflation and some other concerns?
Well, there is raw material challenges, there is, logistics, shortage of containers, etc., which we've seen, which is not new. However, the Omicron virus has impacted Europe to some extent. We are seeing some kind of slowdown in Europe in terms of manufacturing facilities. But, again, this is something that we've dealt with in the past with the first wave and the second wave. And I think that we will overcome this, because what we're hearing is that it's milder. We're hearing there's not been many deaths. And I think it spreads much quicker. And that's really the fear, from the virus situation. However, we are seeing other headwinds like raw material price increase, which you talked about already, which continue at this point in time.
Just to follow up there, because last time you said there are other bigger problems, like logistic costs have gone through the roof, freight costs have surged quite a bit, and now raw material prices as well. Put together, what is the impact that all of this could have on margins in the second half of the year?
So, I think, from a supply perspective, we are seeing challenging times. We've seen demand. Their demand exists for passenger cars, as well as commercial vehicles, as well as, other vehicles, two-wheelers and three-wheelers. However, the supply side is an issue at this point in time, but nothing that won't be sorted out, in the medium term. So this is, it will get sorted out in the medium term. I'm pretty confident of that.
Okay. Now let's talk about the latest development, this research and innovation center that you've put together in Chennai. What are the new technologies that you're looking to develop here, and what is the potential as far as business and fresh orders are concerned? Because, the common perception is that although you have made inroads into markets like North America and China, you're still lacking orders from the European region, from Korean OEMs, from the Japanese OEMs. Any headway that you've made there?
So, it's two different questions, but let me start with the motor question. With the research center, we've set it up for motors and controllers, because we are in the phase of developing motors and controllers for electric vehicles all the way up to 30 kilowatts and then going up to 50 kilowatts. So we've, set up a state-of-the-art testing and R&D facility, which is absolutely essential and in line with, the way our technology roadmap. With regard to supplies, we are supplying into North America, China, and Europe at this point in time. We're working closely with OEMs and their roadmap in terms of when they go electric. So we're working with all the OEMs, all the major OEMs across the globe, and working, like I said, with their roadmap, and their roadmap is pretty similar to our roadmap, is similar to the way they're panning out in terms of electrification of vehicles.
Okay, so Sanjay, in terms of your visibility for the numbers, do you have the same visibility that you had at the time of IPO, or do you think it's a bit hazy now?
So I think, we're going to stick to the numbers that we announced, and we have a broad base in terms of customers. We have a broad base in terms of segments as well. As a business, we supply into the farm equipment, we supply to off-highway vehicles, we supply into passenger car, commercial vehicles, two-wheelers, three-wheelers. So, we're well diversified from a segment perspective, as well as, from a geographical perspective, where we supply to North America, China, Europe, and India. So, we're pretty certain that that it looks, positive at this point in time, but let's see, what happens over the next 2 quarters.
So in this domestic two-wheeler traction motor segment where, you have a large presence, there is so much competition right now, right, Sanjay? I mean, not just domestic players like you and Minda and Varroc, but there are so many global players in this segment as well, like Bosch, Schaeffler, Nidec, etc. I understand that you have a 25% share in this segment. How are you combating all this competition? Do you think it could put further pressure on your margins if, you'd have to sort of bring down prices to sell more? And what do you see as the way forward, both in terms of market share in the domestic business as well as how you're trying to kind of combat the competition?
So, this is a very large market. The two-wheeler market is 21 million two-wheelers today, which is, of course, predominantly ICE. As this market moves towards electrification, more and more opportunities will come our way. I see this as a large market where competition can exist and can coexist, and we'll all have a large market share, because this again is a low-hanging fruit in terms of conversion from ICE to electric vehicles. And of course, we will see competition across the board, because we are going electric, and everyone's getting into that into the electric game.
So, it's a double-edged sword there, right? I mean, of course, electric vehicles, there is quite a bit of demand, but to fulfill that demand and to make sure the demand continues, a lot of OEMs are bringing down costs of electric vehicles as well. Having said all of that, since costs are being brought down, will it be hard for you to maintain this 24-25% EBIT margins that you've been seeing over the last few years?
So, our profitability will remain the way it is. We're pretty certain of that in terms of the products we're building, in terms of the efficiencies we're bringing into the system. This is very common in the automotive industry, where volumes increase, prices come down. However, we also build efficiencies in our manufacturing systems, and therefore we'll continue to maintain hold our profitability.
All right. Okay. Well, we leave it at that. Sanjay, all the best. These are tough times, but as they say, tough times don't last, tough people do. So, hopefully we'll all emerge out of this much stronger. Thanks a lot for joining us. So that's